moments where small changes can have lasting ripples. This week I've been talking a lot about the inner voice and our inner monologue, and how sometimes that voice can be constructive and how that voice can sometimes be a bully, and what happens when that voice is a bully. It's not very helpful. In this episode, I wanted to focus in on self-esteem and how it really doesn't help. Okay, self-esteem is, I'm going to try to talk about this without grabbing my soapbox, putting it down, and jumping on it and having a soapbox moment. Try not to do that because I don't believe in self-esteem. And for a lot of good reasons, and if I get into those reasons, I'll get into soapboxing, so I don't want to do that. However, I will talk about what is the idea around self-esteem. The first time I saw the term self-esteem was like in 1890. And then it didn't become a popular idea until the 1960s. And then it was, we got to build up our kids' self-esteem. We got to build up everybody's self-esteem. Okay. One of my biggest problems with self-esteem is, how do you define that? What in the world is it? I can esteem my pie baking skills. Why? Because I make some good pies. And why do I know I make some good pies? One, I taste them and they're very good. Two, everybody else who tastes them goes, oh, these are really good. And I have requests. My kids don't request birthday cakes. They request birthday pies. Okay, so my pie skills are pretty darn good. Now, do I esteem my basketball skills? Nope, not at all. Can't play basketball for nothing. 5'2", in my 50s. Nope. Basketball is just not my thing. So I do not esteem basketball skills. Now, how is it to esteem a self? That's hard. The way they define it is, it's the our self-value, our self-worth, how we value ourselves and what we think ourselves as worth. And in preparations, I did some research and found there's a lot of articles that say self-esteem causes depression. And I'm like, okay. Like I said, try not to soapbox here. So the idea is then, if self-esteem causes depression, that if all we have to do is build somebody's self-esteem. And it doesn't work, or at least it doesn't work long term. Okay, so let's say we're going to build somebody's self-esteem. So every morning we tell Joe, I tell you what, you got to say 10 great things about yourself. And Joe says, all right, and he tells 10 great things. And he's like, I'm feeling good about myself. And, I am good. I am a kind person. I am honest. He goes all through all this stuff. And he has 10 great things about himself. And so then he starts to feel pretty good about himself. And he's like, okay. And then he goes to work. And his boss says, hey, I need to talk to you. That last thing you did, I need you to relook at it. Poof. Now comes back the inner bully. And the inner bully says, I do it. You say you're smart, but look at that. Your boss says you're stupid. Look how stupid you are. You're dumb. You're stupid. See what I mean? Oh yeah, don't try to tell me you're lying to yourself with all this stuff about what a good person you are, because we already know you're a liar. And back down we go. So is it a hard stretch to say that, to see how when somebody's inner bullying themselves and they're saying, I'm a bad person, I'm no good. Well, we don't feel good when we do that. We feel pretty bad. It's like, I'm this bad thing. And then they look over how many years they've been this bad thing. And they're like, oh my God, I can't be anything else but this bad thing. And it's going to be this bad thing forever. And so then they're like, am I ever going to get any better? I don't think so. I get onto myself, and the more I get onto myself, it seems the worse it gets instead of better. So yeah, I'm just going to have to be this yucky thing. Ugh. And so then we get really low. And so if you ask somebody who's bullied themselves like that and say, and what is your self-esteem? They'd be like, really low. I think of myself as a piece of doo-doo. And like, oh, well, we need to build your self-esteem. Do we need to build the self-esteem, or do we need to address the inner bully and kick that inner bully out? Okay, which one do you think is going to have a lasting impact? Excising the inner bully, or artificially pumping up self-esteem by saying things? And what happens too very often is when somebody says, oh, you just need to build up your self-esteem. And so they start talking about all these things. And then the person who, they're saying these things are like, yeah, well, no, I'm a loser. I'm no good. I'm these things. I already know this to be true. I am all of these things. So they'll start yes butting. Well, yes, I could see where, yeah, I did good. I got that pay raise, but they were giving everybody a pay raise. I was no different. So they're not going to necessarily believe. What they are going to believe is the inner bully. Why? And like in the last episode where we talked about how many times thoughts are repeated, 60 to 90% of the thoughts we have are repeated. And the more we repeat a thing, the better we learn that thing. So a person has learned that there is no good, dad burn thing, so therefore they're going to believe that over somebody that comes in and says, I want you to say 5 good things about yourself today and do that every day. Well, yeah, please do. That's a good thing to do, and do it over and 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 over. However, if we don't get rid of that inner bully first, yeah, we don't have a chance. Now, if you want to learn more about how to be a friend to yourself and other topics, check out my courses on morejoyfullife.com. And thank you